Hello everyone, and welcome back to Robinhood Stock Market Watch List. My name is Carlos and today is Sunday, July 11th. Today we're going to talk about some stock market activities and events that are scheduled to take place later this week. That way we know exactly how that'll affect the stock market, whether it be bearish or bullish. That way we don't go into the week with uncertainty, because uncertainty is definitely our enemy. So the biggest thing that has the major impact on the stock market is economic reports. So what best way to figure this out by looking at what economic reports are scheduled to be released. Now, we don't see one scheduled for Monday, which is good, because then that means that there isn't an economic report that's going to influence the entire stock market system in either direction. But it is kind of left to a lot of us investors to kind of, to start buying more stocks and as well as the news and the social media and stuff. So Monday, a lot of investors come back from the weekend, are very excited to kind of start investing again. And so a lot of times you will see a lot of people start pumping up a lot of stuff. So Monday should be pretty bullish for the most part, but going into Tuesday we have the core CPI month over month for the month of June report. Now this is scheduled to be released at 8:30 Eastern time, which is 1 hour before the stock market opens. So this report is going to affect the pre-market. Now, if you're not sure what this report is, we can always click on it and it'll let us know with a little small description here, saying that the CPI measures, which is the core consumer price index, measures the changes in the price of the goods and services, excluding food and energy. The CPI measures the price change from the perspective of the consumer. It is a key way to measure changes in purchasing trends and inflation. So it is forecast to be about 0.4%, where the previous report was at 0.7%. So it's expected to be down. It's lower, and that could be affected by the shortage in a lot of stuff, particularly like semiconductors. That way the industrial industry is not really able to do a lot of repairs or to upgrade or to expand, and so that could be a very beginning of a bearish characteristic for that. As well as going into Wednesday, we have another report. The PPI month over month report for the month of June is also scheduled to be released at 8:30, 1 hour before the stock market opens. Same issue though, it's forecast to be reported at 0.5%, lower than the previous month at 0.8%. And again, this PPI is your producer price index, which measures the change in the price of goods sold by manufacturers. It is a leading indicator of consumer price inflation, which accounts for the majority of overall inflation. So this will be very interesting to see what that happens, but like I said, it's forecast to be a little lower. But as long as it can either meet or beat that, we're okay. If it can meet or beat the previous report, we're even better. So same thing with the other report for the core CPI on Tuesday. As long as it can meet or beat that, I think we're okay. But before the report, the morning still may be red. But if it can meet or beat that, we may have that 1 hour transition where maybe things will then transition into green right before the stock market opens. So we really have to pay close attention to what it's going to do, but so far it's looking very bearish. So crude oil inventory. Now, some things we need the numbers to be up, some numbers we need the numbers to be down. Now, the crude oil inventories on Wednesdays is expected to be reported at 10:30, which is 1 hour after the stock market opens. So now this is a weekly report. So this is going to be for last week's report, which was a 4th of July weekend. Now there's a lot of people. I don't know if you've seen the roads last week, but man, there was so much traffic. There's a lot of people that were driving. They're consuming oil. They're burning fuel. They're flying to Las Vegas. I mean, they're doing all kinds of stuff. So I would anticipate, and there's not a forecast here yet, but there could be tomorrow, and that's why it's always good to look at at this stuff regularly on a daily basis. But the previous report was down, negative 6.8 million, and we need this number down lower because it's what's going to help the economy. It's what drives values up. It's not really good on the barrel of oil because it in a personal way, because it affects our gas prices. But if the gas prices are up, it's helping the economy and the stock market and all that stuff. But we'll really have to see what they're forecasting it to be. But I would anticipate that the crude oil inventory levels should be down a lot. And if they're down, that's bullish. That's good. So that'll help the stock market. So by looking at Wednesday, so Monday looks good. Tuesday looks like things could be down. Wednesday morning could be down. But after the crude oil inventory report gets announced, we could see where now we're seeing some bullish characteristics where now the market may be recovering, and Wednesday could open up in the green. Same thing with Thursday, where Thursday morning at 8:30, so 1 hour before the stock market opens, the unemployment report comes out, which they call the initial jobless claims. It was up a little higher last week than anticipated, but it is forecast this week to reach around 360,000 unemployment reported for last week. But as long as it can meet or beat the previous report, we're fine, we're good. If it can meet or beat the forecast one, we're even better. So Thursday morning, so Wednesday before close, it looks like we could be closing in the green. Thursday morning, we could be opening up in the green as well. And then as we get closer to Friday, we have a core retail sales month over month for the month of June. This report will be released at 8:30 in the morning, 1 hour before the stock market opens. So these are going to affect the pre-market Friday, and it doesn't look like it could be good, but because retail sales, a lot of retail sales depend on microchips. And so if there's a shortage on, whether it's electric or not, whether it's not, if it's not an electric device, it still requires some kind of machine, electricity to manufacture, components or materials. And so, retail sales, it really looks like it's going to be down last month. You can see that even though that the core retail sales looks like it could be up 0.5%, it was down the last previous report at negative 0.7%. But the major retail sales looks like it will even be down some more, where the last report was down a negative 1.3%. So so it looks like as we get closer to closing on Thursday could close in the red, and Friday could open up in the red, and it could easily close in the red as well. So Friday are usually a great day to buy stocks at a low price as we go into the next following week. After that, there's not really a whole lot of reports that are scheduled yet, but there will be. But we're going to see a lot of, I think, existing home sales, used home sales, new home sales, things like that. So I think that'll really kind of help create more bullish characteristics throughout the economic reports through the next following week after this one. So, but just be careful. Just make sure you're taking notes, because expect a lot of volatility going into this week, and just be ready. And then so the next thing is the earning releases. So we're in a whole new fresh earnings season, and so as we are now in the third quarter, it's earnings season. So in our stock market group, our Robinhood Stock Market Watchlist Facebook group, in our announcement section, I always post a lot of highly valuable information, and every Saturday I'll post the the scheduled the most anticipated earning releases for this week. And you'll see the before open, after close, but these are all the top major ones that you'll find a lot of them on the news. And the top 10 you'll find in the description right here. So we have J.P. Morgan, Goldman Sachs, Pepsi, Bank of America, Delta Airlines, or Wells Fargo, Taiwan Semiconductor, which we really need to focus on that one, and then Citigroup, United Health Group, and BlackRock. Now, the next following day, so usually Sunday mornings, I'll post the top 10s analysis in our announcement section. So we got BlackRock, which is right here, which I'll have some clues pointed out with emojis and stuff here, as well as within the image. So the BlackRock, which is scheduled to release their earnings report on Wednesday morning before the stock market opens. The company's earning release has a 70% expecting an earnings beat, which is really, really good. Usually averages around 65%. So 70%, that's a little bit above average. So that's looking pretty good. United Healthcare is right here. They're scheduled to release their earnings report Thursday morning before the stock market opens. The company's earning release has a 68% expecting an earnings beat, which is not bad. That's pretty decent, but average. The Citigroup, they'll be releasing their earnings on Wednesday morning during pre-market before the market opens. The company's earnings release has a 57% expecting an earnings beat, a little below average. Wells Fargo is confirmed to release their earnings report on Wednesday morning during pre-market before the market opens. The company earning release has a 67% expecting an earnings beat, just a little above average, which is good. It's good to see that they're up there. Now, Delta Airlines, they're scheduled to release their earnings report on Wednesday morning before the stock market opens. So that'll be during pre-market. The company's earning release has a 62% expecting an earnings beat. So a lot of this stuff is going to be on the news. So it's good to be aware of a lot of these financial informations and statistics. Bank of America is scheduled to release their earnings report on Wednesday morning. Same thing during pre-market before the market opens. The company's earnings release has a 71% expecting an earnings beat. So that's pretty good especially for Bank of America. Pepsi's expected to release their earnings report Tuesday morning before the stock market opens, so that'll definitely affect their pre-market. The company's earnings release has a 62% expecting an earnings beat, so it's definitely average, nothing major there, but it is a major company and is in the top 10. The Goldman Sachs is scheduled to release their earnings report on Tuesday morning before the market opens. The company's earnings release has a 62% expecting an earnings beat. So, it's average. J.P. Morgan, they're scheduled to release their earnings report on Tuesday morning before the stock market opens. The company's earnings release has a 60% expecting an earnings beat. And then last but not least, we have the Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company that's scheduled to release their earnings report on Thursday morning before the stock market opens during pre-market. This company has an earnings release, has a 77% expecting an earnings beat. That is the highest percentage out of any other scheduled earnings report this week. Now, Taiwan, and so again, with the pictures, do show some clues, but you can see that, especially with last quarter, how much the world depends on this company to manufacture microchips, which we currently have a shortage of. And so not only has American companies been scrambling to produce a lot of microchips, but Taiwan is a huge source for this, and we are depending on them as we speak. And so I would imagine their sales have skyrocketed, their orders, and so the news is really going to be focusing on this. And you got to remember what the old pro sayings say: buy on rumor, sell on news. And so, it's just good to be aware of what's scheduled to happen, what's going to happen before it reaches the news, because when it reaches the news, it can skyrocket, but it can also plunge or dip. It can do a lot of things, but volatility is what's going to happen. And but so far, things are looking great for this company. And so this is huge. And so this is the top 10 information, which I always post, and you can find it in our announcement section of our group. Now let's look at some stock options activity from last Friday going into this coming week. Now Friday was kind of a hectic day for a lot of stocks, but what we'll look at here is some overall stock options activity. So Apple dominated Friday's stock options by a lot. Now Apple finished the day at $145.11. They were up, a decent amount, 1.3%, but the options volume was way above average at 2.7 million. Now, out of that 2.7 million, we have almost 80% calls activities. That means that out of this 2.7 million volume, almost 80% are betting that the stock's going to keep going up, where 20% are betting that the stock's going to go down, whether it be that day or the next trading day, meaning tomorrow or Monday, or maybe for the rest of the week. And then we got Tesla on the second place here, which both of these guys are usually dominate the list because people love day trading them, they love swing trading them. But normally these call percentage with Apple is usually around that 65% range. That's normal, just like when we're talking about the earnings. But 80%, and doubling the normal volume on this guy, there's a lot of unusual activity going on here. But if you look into it, you'll notice that there's a lot of new Apple leaks with their products and technology and information. It's anticipated that Apple will soon be releasing the reveal date of when they'll reveal the new iPhone, which could be the 12s or it could be the 13. Now, if you guys were investing last year in the stock market, we were really anticipating that last year's iPhone was going to provide a significant, massive upgrade in hardware or big change in whatever it was going to be. But because of the pandemic, kind of postponed that production, and so they just created a new iPhone with some minor upgrades. And so it'll be interesting to see if this year if it's going to be an iPhone 12s or if we're just going to skip that and go to a 13 with a massive upgrade in hardware technology. So that's where I think we're starting to see a lot of unusual activity, because nothing has really been concrete information, but you can see that there is a lot of there could be insider information where we're just not seeing certain information yet, but it's soon to be announced. But we can definitely see that people are investing heavily into Apple right now. And so, but Tesla, we can see that Tesla has a normal amount of options volume, or maybe it's slightly above average. But out of this, 55% are betting that the stock's going to go up, and almost 45% is going to go down. That's almost 50-50. So that's very, very scary when it comes to that. And Tesla's getting more competition year after year. So but Tesla's still doing stuff. They're still building the Gigafactory in Texas. It almost looks like it's done. I don't know if you guys looked at it at the progress lately, but they're doing very, very well. And that thing is going to be done in a very short period of time. And once that does, it's really going to help the Tesla stock value. So AMC, very popular meme stock, they finished Friday at $46.19. They were down 3.5%. Options volume is higher than normal, but out of this volume, 61% are betting that the stock is going to keep going up, where about 39% are betting the stock is going to keep going down. So just be careful with that one. It just really seems to like being around that $40 range. So it's volume activity did kind of slow down there for quite a while, but it's starting to pick back up, but not in a good way. Keep in mind, volume activity, it could be buying activity, it could be selling activity, or a combination of the two. Virgin Galactic, that's going to be a big one this Monday. Because today being Sunday, great news within the company. The CEO did the little the flight into space, and everything was a huge success. But there's been a lot of scheduled events that this was going to take place a couple weeks ago. So if you look at the charts, Virgin Galactic was $15 or just under $20 just a few weeks ago, and now we could be at that point where, like I said, with the buy on rumor, sell on news point, even though it's good news, it's still news, and so there could be a lot of people selling, and that could cause the price to drop. And so because the price now may be factored into this good news already, so you just got to be careful. And so it's down 6.6%. But overall, I think we're going to see a lot of other people, even though people are going to sell the stock, I think we're going to get a lot of other group of people that are going to buy into it. So this is going to be a very interesting kind of like a tug of war type of effect, or volatility effect. But overall, 68% of this volume are betting that the stock is going to go up, where almost 32% are betting against the stock. So, but this is average. Like I said, when you're around that 65, 68%, that's average. Amazon's been getting a lot of attention lately, and especially with the ordeal with the U.S. government kind of canceling out the whole cloud deal between Microsoft, may give Amazon an opportunity. NIO, very popular stock. They're kind of the China's version of the Tesla, but fractions of the cost. $45. It wasn't that long ago they touched $50, but they kind of took a little dive lately. But out of this volume, though, almost over 74% are still betting that the stocks can go up, where 25% are betting against the stock, betting that the stock may go down. Now, keep in mind, a lot of people don't really pay attention to what these companies are doing, unfortunately, but NIO is also building a factory as well. Now, they already have the one, which I believe they've kind of maxed out on their production. Now, last month, they were able to build 8,000 cars, but lately, they've been building like 6 to 7, and it just hasn't really changed much. So whatever they've done in that single factory, they probably sped up production a little faster, but ultimately they need a second factory, just like what Elon Musk did with Tesla. You just build more and get it out to and deliver to customers, and that's what's and the money will come in later. And so that's what NIO's doing now, and so they've been, I think, in production for the last couple months now, and so it's going to be built. Once the NIO's factory is built, they're going to double their production. They're going to reach to 12,000, 15,000, 16,000 cars built every month and delivered to customers. Now, if that will double, so will the stock price. There's no doubt in my mind that this stock will probably reach $100 before this year is over. So, but we're going to see a lot of activity on it this summer. So just be ready. AMD is also a microchip company. They gained some pretty good gains in a very short amount of time, and there's still a lot of room for growth. And out of this options volume activity last Friday, almost 70% of them are betting the stock's going to go up, where 30% are betting against the stock. So Boeing also has been very active lately too, especially there's been a lot of good news with Boeing and with certain production stuff. They did have a little bad news not too long ago. I think there was an emergency landing, what was around Hawaii, on one of the planes, but it didn't really affect the Boeing stock. I think it had to do with another issue but they couldn't land in the landing strip or something. I can't remember what it was. Alibaba right here, definitely showing some good activity there, good volume activity. They were up Friday almost 3%. Then we have Snapchat right here. They're at $65, almost 66 almost. They were up Friday almost over 6%. But you can see that the calls now are a lot less. Yeah, 45% calls, 55% puts. So people are starting to bet against the stock because Snapchat's pretty high right now. So definitely, things to look at, as well as Snowflake, which is not normally on this list. So if it's something you see on here that's not normally on there, definitely consider that unusual activity. Now, Snow was up Friday over almost 7.5%. Out of that, this amount of activity and volume at 251,000, almost 85% is betting the stock's going to keep going up, either that day as well as probably the next trading day, which would be tomorrow or Monday, July 12th. And so out of all the percentages here, Snow has the highest call percentage ratio than anything else on this top of this list. So this could be something that's flying under the radar. So we definitely need to do a little bit of research on Snowflake and see what it is. What are they doing? Is it flying under? Is it flying under the radar? Which could be due to the fact that maybe there's no news, or because maybe there's some insider activity or information that's going on there. So we definitely need to put that on our watch list going into this week. Disney. Now, Disney just released a couple different things. Not only have they been releasing the Marvel Loki shows, but we also just received just the other day the new Black Widow movie. Now, not only does the Black Widow movie ended up in the movie theaters, but which is also going to help AMC, but it is also going to help Disney because it also landed on Disney Plus. Now, on Disney Plus, you can order that movie, you can rent it for $30, which adds a tremendous amount of revenue towards the company. But also, when you talk to anybody that went to go see the movie in the theater, they're all going to say it is the most people they've seen in the movie theater since the pandemic. And so this is going to be huge revenue for Walt Disney, but also AMC as a movie theater company. So just know that. So Disney is going to be on, and AMC is definitely going to be another topic for this week. There's a lot of other little things here going on. Now, Delta Airlines, as we mentioned, has earnings report. So American Airlines will be affected. It's a very popular stock, and it's pretty inexpensive right now at $20. So, that will be affected by the two as well. So a lot of good information here. Now we can also we'll take a look at the most active individual calls and puts. That way we can see strike prices. Now, Apple's right here. Some of these are expired, so there's some of them we need to avoid because we're looking at them during the weekend. But Apple dominated the entire list, the entire system, with a $145 call strike price. So it's already in the money. This call expires this Friday on the 16th. Had an open interest of only 96,000, but dominated the entire system with 173,000 in volume. Now, the second most active call or strike price is $150 call strike price. And so with the same expiration that expires this Friday on the 16th. Now, this had the open interest of 112,000, but now the volume of 129,000, which still exceeds over the open interest, which provides us a lot of unusual buying activity on these two guys. So this is there's a lot of activity with Apple going on right now because there's a $146 call strike price that's still open. There's a $140 call strike price that's still open, which is already in the money. There's a $148 call strike price. I mean, there's a lot of activity on Apple right now. a lot of unused. There's another 140 or $150 call strike. So there's two of them. One that expires this Friday, the 16th, and another one that expires in 2 weeks on Friday the 24th. So it's like the investors are like, it is going to reach $150 no matter what. With this amount, we're talking millions of dollars of money getting poured into this bet. So all eyes on Apple. So next one is $147 call strike price. There's another one, $146. There's $140. There's a $145 one that expires in 2 weeks. There's another one. Geez, it just goes on and on. So now we have a IGT a call, which IGT is currently at $23.37. We have a $30 call strike price that expires in 42 days, or approximately 42 days, which is on Friday, August 20th. Now, the open interest was 23,000. The volume on Friday was 32,000, which exceeds over the open interest, again showing unusual buying activity. And even if you're not into stock options, you can still consider this as buying it as a share, because if you're buying it at $23 and if it reaches $30, that's what, a 35-40% gain in a matter of a month or month and a half. There is nothing wrong with that, and that's where IGT now needs to be on our watch list. Next one is the IVR, which is currently at $3.56. We have a call strike price at $4, which expires towards the end of the year, January 21st, or 196 days. Open interest is at 87,000. Volume is currently at 31,000. I wish it was a little bit more. So it's hard to tell, is it buying activity or is it selling activity? But it's still like activity that we need to consider. And now that we're in the summertime, which is the bullish time of the year, most likely this could reach $4 much sooner than this. So, but we just need to take a look at some other bits of information, especially the graphs, moving averages, patterns, and other algorithms. We have another Apple, but a $135 call strike price. We have an IVR with a couple puts here. So we got that, we got a call. So we maybe have some straddling strategies possibly going on with all the same expiration dates. So obviously this is a straddle strategy that's going on here. So just need to look more into that and see what's going on there. What else? Anything else we're seeing here? No. So let's go to options again. We'll click on the unusual options activity under barchart.com, and then we'll try to see if it can find any other bits of unusual activity, like EDU, which is currently at $6.60 a share with a call strike price at $12.50. That expires in about a year from now, so next year in June. But we can see that the open interest was really 107, which was really nothing, and now all of a sudden it's got 11,000 in pure buying activity last Friday. So there's starting to become some investors that believe that EDU is going to double in a year from now. So again, even if you're not into stock options, you can still buy it as a share, buy, hold, and almost double your investment. And a lot of times this could reach this even sooner than its expiration date that a lot of investors intended that it was going to reach. So so the next unusual one that's open, that's not expired, is the PDD. This is currently at $11.07 with an $118 call strike price that expires this Friday, the 16th. Had an open interest of only 337 with the volume of now 16,000, which is a lot. So this guy wasn't doing anything, and now all of a sudden, like 99.9% people bought into this call for some reason. So it's just important to learn why. Maybe check the moving averages, the news, and other things. Maybe there's an earning report coming up soon, or maybe the company's doing something or going to release something. So it's just good to know. So we got another one here, COP, which is currently at $60, but it has a $64 call strike price that expires this month on Friday the 30th. Had an open interest of just 417, but now the volume of 14,000, which is really a lot. You know, that is a lot of pure buying activity. So there's a lot of people that believe that are betting the stock's going to go up $4 more before the month is over. So, and then so on. So we got another one. We got SIEN that's also showing some pretty good activity. $8.42 currently with a $10 strike price. Even if you bought it as a share, it reaches $10 by next month. That's a 15% gain. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. You know, if you have a 401k now with your employer, you're gaining about 3% a month. So to gain 15%, that's a huge win. So no matter what strategy or type of investing or trader you are, with that kind of activity, that's not bad. So, but yeah, a lot of good activity here. There's another one here that provided a lot of volume activity, but it's almost in the money. The FLR, what is that? That flower, 1-800-Flowers, I think maybe. It's $17.21. Call strike price at $17.50. That expires next month on Friday, August 20th. Had the volume of 772, but now the volume of just under 20,000. So a lot of volume activity on that one, as well as snow, as we were talking about that. But these snows are expired. So far, I haven't really seen one that's currently open. But that's just looking at the most unusual activity. And then we got Snapchat right here. Snapchat is currently at $65.81. Definitely priced pretty high, but we have a put strike price at $63.50. That expires this Friday, July 16th. That had very light open interest of 856,000, but now a lot of volume. So there's a lot of people that are beginning to bet against Snapchat. So just be very cautious. Make sure you put that on your watch list, because if you are in the stock options, that may be a good one to bet against. So yeah, a lot of great information here. So if you ever have any questions, feel free to message me on Facebook Messenger. Thank you for watching. I'll post another one next Sunday. That way we can always plan ahead. Stay safe out there, make good choices, and good luck.